Phil Mickelson is 56 years old today. For decades, he built a massive brand around one simple idea. He was the ultimate family man. Golf fans remember him walking away from a major championship just to watch his oldest daughter graduate high school. He always put his kids first. Today, that carefully built image is quietly falling apart. He now walks the fairways completely alone. His wife and children are entirely absent from his public life. Behind the blank screens and empty social media feeds, a massive change is happening. This is not a simple PR cleanup. When a family completely vanishes from a patriarch's public life, it means the private damage is already done. His eldest daughter has always stayed out of the spotlight. She studied ancient history and actively avoided the bright cameras. This sudden digital silence from the entire family is incredibly loud. The golf world is noticing. People are asking what could possibly push a father and his children this far apart. The answers are not found on the golf course. He believed his golf records would protect his name forever, completely ignoring the quiet crisis unfolding inside his own home. Reaching out to the family yields absolutely nothing right now. They are completely locked down and hiding from the public eye. They refuse to answer any questions. Phil himself has stayed completely quiet. He knows exactly why his family took this extreme step. The truth involves a severe off-course issue that recently followed him everywhere, changing everything he built. I believe this total family silence is the biggest red flag in golf history. So tell me if you agree and hit subscribe for more real talk. The missing family members are just the surface of this story. The real disaster is happening behind the closed doors of his private club. The Mickelson family has always lived in Rancho Santa Fe, California. It is a quiet, wealthy area where privacy is highly valued. They built a beautiful life there. Phil was a founding member of the Farms Golf Club. It was his safe space. He spent decades playing there with his friends. Recently, that safe space completely disappeared. Multiple reports confirm that the club asked him to leave. They essentially barred him from playing at his own home course. This is a massive deal in the golf world. Country clubs rely heavily on a clean image. The members and the board did not want to deal with the current situation. They quietly removed him to protect their own reputation. Losing his home course stripped away his daily routine, while losing the respect of his peers completely destroyed his identity. Imagine walking into a place you have been a member of for 20 years, and the staff suddenly will not let you in. That is exactly what happened to him. The locker room atmosphere changed instantly. When a story like this breaks, the whispers start. Other players did not know how to act around him. Some avoided him completely. Others offered quiet sympathy, but the distance was obvious. He was essentially isolated from the very tour he helped build. Fans could see the awkwardness during his rare public appearances. He looked tired and completely disconnected from the game he once dominated. He tried to keep playing golf to escape the pressure. He entered tournaments and tried to focus on his swing. The mental weight was clearly too heavy. His game suffered, and his mood darkened. He tried to hide away in his California mansion to escape the noise, unaware the noise was about to follow him inside his own house. Let us look at his actual performance on the course. The physical toll was obvious during his tournament rounds. His face is completely stone cold today. Walking the fairways with his head down, he ignores the fans who still try to cheer for him. That natural, fluid rhythm is missing from his swing. Short putts that he would have made 1,000 times before are now missing the hole. Exhaustion is obvious to anyone watching. Playing against the other golfers is only half the battle. Each bad shot carries the heavy weight of his off-course problems. Caddies try to keep the mood light, but the silence between them is deafening. This visible decline on the golf course only made the whispers in the clubhouse even louder. The man who used to smile and joke with the cameras was completely gone. His family watched this slow decline from the sidelines. They saw a proud man losing his grip on everything he loved. The pressure was not just coming from the golf course. It was coming from the people who paid his bills. Sponsors started pulling away quietly. In the business of professional golf, image is everything. Companies pay millions to have their logos on a player's hat and shirt. They want to be associated with winners who represent their brand perfectly. Suddenly, the six-time major champion was no longer just a golf star. He became a walking liability for the people who paid him. When sponsors get nervous, they do not make a big public announcement. They just let the contracts expire. They find excuses not to renew. The money stopped flowing in as fast as it used to. This created a massive problem for his family's daily life and future security. They could not just go to their local club and relax anymore. The sanctuary they once enjoyed was gone. Watching their father struggle was hard for his children, completely unaware the financial foundation of their family was about to crack. Discuss the specific impact on his practice routines. Hours spent at the driving range with his kids watching were a regular bonding time. Teaching them the game he loved was a chance to pass down his legacy. Practice sessions now happen completely alone. Familiar faces of his family are missing from the practice grounds. Other players notice this change immediately. Packing up his bags by himself, without the usual family entourage, sends a clear message. A small detail like this tells the whole story in the golf world. Isolation is not just a media narrative. A physical reality that everyone at the tournament can see with their own eyes is right in front of them. The empty space next to his practice range bag is the clearest sign of his new, lonely reality. The loss of income was a heavy burden. The legal fees from fighting the rumors have added to the financial strain. He is paying a heavy price for the situations surrounding him, whether they are proven in a court of law or not. The public has already delivered its verdict. The financial impact will be felt for years. The lost sponsorships mean less money for his foundations and his family's future. Yet, the money was not the only thing slipping away. Reports started circulating about a serious family health issue. The initial statements were vague, just mentioning a family medical matter. But insiders knew it involved one of his children. A child facing a severe health crisis is every parent's worst nightmare. For a father who already feels isolated from his community and his sport, this is a devastating blow. The loss of income was a heavy burden. However, the physical health reports coming out of his family were about to make everything else feel like a minor inconvenience. Phil had to step away from major tournaments to deal with this private crisis. He missed events he would normally play. The golf media speculated about his whereabouts, but the real story was happening in hospital rooms and doctors' offices. The stress of a sick child combined with the public scandals created a toxic environment at home. He was fighting a battle for his child's health, while the outside world continued to judge his every move. The Mickelson family has always been fiercely private. They do not share their struggles on social media. They do not ask for public sympathy. When things get bad, they close the doors and handle it internally. This time, the internal handling was not working. The outside world was too loud. The rumors were too damaging. Amanda, his eldest daughter, is an adult now. She has her own life, her own career, and her own reputation to protect. She cannot control what the media says about her father. She can only control her own digital footprint. She can control what she associates her name with online. The decision was not made in a single day. It was a slow, painful realization that the association was doing more harm than good. She realized that protecting her own peace required making a choice that would hurt her father, a choice she delayed for as long as she possibly could. The legal team was working overtime. Phil's lawyers were trying to manage the fallout. They were issuing statements, denying rumors, and trying to keep his name out of the daily news cycle. Legal battles cannot fix a broken family dynamic. They cannot force a daughter to post pictures of her father. They cannot make a country club welcome him back. The lawyers knew the public relations battle was lost. The only thing left to do was damage control for his personal life. They advised him to stay quiet. They told him to let the news cycle move on to someone else. The internet never really forgets. The stories stayed archived. The whispers continued. The legal team thought a quiet strategy would save his reputation, completely failing to see the final, unforgivable action his daughter was about to take. This brings us to the exact moment the family line was crossed. The viewer wants to know the real reason behind the empty social media pages. The truth is ugly, and it stems from a specific, highly damaging allegation that resurfaced and refused to go away. Journalist Alan Shipnuck reported on a claim made by a woman named Ashley Perez. She stated that back in 2015, Phil showed her an explicit photo of himself on his phone. This was not a minor rumor. This was a direct accusation of highly inappropriate behavior. Phil's legal team immediately fought back. They released strong statements denying the story completely. They called it a recycled lie designed to hurt his reputation. The legal denial was supposed to end the story. Instead, it only made the private fallout inside the Mickelson house much worse. In the golf world, a legal denial does not always erase the damage. Once a story like this breaks, the whispers start. Country clubs rely heavily on a clean image. The members and the board at the Farms Golf Club did not want to deal with this specific allegation. That is the exact reason they barred him from his home course. They wanted no part of that controversy. For his children, this allegation was the final straw. They had to deal with the public shame. They had to see their father's name linked to such a severe accusation. Amanda made the executive decision to erase him from her digital life. She went through her social media accounts and deleted every single family photo featuring him. She scrubbed the history. She removed the digital proof that he was her father. Deleting the photos was her way of drawing a hard boundary. Meanwhile, the physical signs of distance from his wife proved this was a total family collapse. The digital erasure was loud, but the physical reality was just as quiet and painful. Amy Mickelson, his wife of decades, has largely remained out of the public eye. Recent paparazzi photos have noted her appearing in public without her wedding ring. While no official statement of separation has been made, the missing ring is a universal symbol of a broken marriage. The family is not just distancing themselves from the public, they are distancing themselves from him. The man who built his brand on being a family man is now entirely alone. He has his golf trophies, he has his major championships, he is on the fast track to the World Golf Hall of Fame. His personal legacy is fracturing in real time. I think this digital silence speaks louder than any press release his lawyers could ever write. So tell me your thoughts below and subscribe if you want the unfiltered truth. He can add more trophies to his cabinet, but no amount of golf success can fix the permanent damage done to his personal legacy. Consider his history with the Ryder Cup. The ultimate leader in that event was always him. Uniting the locker room and pumping up the younger players came naturally to him. Other players looked up to him as the fearless veteran who took all the pressure onto himself. Specific versions of Phil Mickelson from the past are completely gone now. Current locker rooms are full of young, college-educated stars who care deeply about their personal brands and public image. Watching what happened to him, these young stars take notes. Consequences of crossing the line change their perspective. Hero worship from 5 years ago has been replaced by polite, distant respect. Brief, professional nods have replaced the lively banter he used to have with his peers. The ultimate team player from his prime is now the most isolated figure in the modern locker room. Golf fans are left to process this massive shift. They watched him grow from a risky, aggressive young player into a seasoned veteran. They cheered for his incredible chip-ins and his major wins. They are also watching the slow, painful collapse of his personal life. The contrast between his public golf success and his private family failure is stark. The golf world moves on quickly. The tour will find a new storyline. The sponsors will find a new face. The country clubs will forget about him. For Phil Mickelson, the reality of his empty house and his deleted digital footprint will remain. He is 56 years old. He has time to reflect on what truly matters. The fairways will eventually welcome him back, but the empty seats in his personal life are a permanent reminder of the cost of his actions. This story is a harsh reminder that public image is fragile. It takes decades to build a reputation as a family man, and only a few months to see it completely erased by the very people you love. The golf records will stay in the books forever. The family photos are gone, deleted by the daughter who once made him skip a major championship. That is the ultimate tragic irony of Phil Mickelson's current reality. The game of golf will survive this scandal, but the Mickelson family as we knew it is permanently changed. The tour officials are already looking at the next generation of stars. They are focusing on the young players who have clean images and massive social media followings. Phil is being pushed to the background. He is becoming a cautionary tale for young golfers. They are taught to watch their behavior, protect their brand, and remember that the public is always watching. His former playing partners have moved on. They post pictures of their own families, their own victories, and their own happy lives. They do not mention him. The silence from his peers is just as loud as the silence from his daughter. The golf community has effectively closed ranks around him. He is an outsider looking in at the game he helped define for a generation. His children are now forced to navigate their adult lives with this heavy shadow over them. They have to explain their last name to new acquaintances. They have to deal with the online comments and the judgmental looks. A parent's job is to protect their children from these things. In this case, the parents' actions have exposed them to it. The tragedy of this situation is that Phil Mickelson was once universally loved by the golf fans. He was the everyman. He was the guy who took risks and made spectacular shots. He was relatable. Now, he is a figure of pity and controversy. The shift in public perception is absolute and unforgiving. As the years go by, the golf historians will debate his place in the game. They will talk about his 6 major championships. They will talk about his Ryder Cup records. The personal stories will always be attached to his name. The legacy is permanently stained. The family photos are gone, and no amount of golf history can bring them back. The ultimate lesson here is that family is the only true legacy. The trophies will gather dust. The records will eventually be broken by younger, better players. The love and respect of your children is something that cannot be replaced. Phil Mickelson lost that respect, and the digital deletion is just the public proof of a very private tragedy. The golf tour will continue. The seasons will change. New champions will be crowned. For one 56-year-old golf legend, the game will never be the same again. He is playing for his career now because he has already lost everything else that truly mattered. Examine the daily reality inside his massive estate. Located on a beautiful, sprawling property, the house offers perfect views of the golf course. Large family gatherings and loud celebrations used to fill those dining rooms. Today, those same large dining rooms sit mostly empty. Grown children living their own separate lives keep their distance. Quiet hallways echo with the absence of the family that used to fill them. Massive wealth cannot buy back the simple joy of a family dinner. Hiring the best lawyers will never fix a broken relationship with a daughter. Future golf victories mean nothing when the people he wants to celebrate with are absent. The ultimate prize he chased his entire life turned out to be the exact thing that cost him his family. The fairways are empty, the clubhouse is closed to him, and his family photos are deleted forever.